Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm S. Maxine Fisher, an author, fiber artist, and queer parent of one, and I have a special project for you today. We are going to be doing some more pattern designing, and I am going to be working with one of my existing patterns. Some of you remember that a few months ago I created this adorable red panda. I love him so much. I have actually modified the body to do this raccoon pattern as well. I never quite got the head the way I wanted it, so I didn't release this pattern as a raccoon, but I have a couple of heads left over from the making process that I really did like. So what I'm going to do today is I am market prepping, preparing for two upcoming Pride markets, May 31st and June 6th. So I want extra stuff to bring, so I thought, what better time than to reuse those heads and make some bodies for them? That's right, today we are going to be creating a raccoon and red panda snuggler. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, I have my yarn all stacked up right here. I'm going to show you what colors I'm going to be using. As usual, I am going to be using Parfait Chunky with a 5mm hook. This is my trusty tulip hook.
Which I highly recommend if you are starting out crocheting and not really sure what kind of hooks to use. Clover or tulip hooks are the best.
In my humble opinion, I am using these colors for the raccoon. We have black, white, and gray, and that's pretty much it. This one's going to be pretty straightforward and simple, and looking at my existing raccoon here, I should put this white away because I don't think I'm going to be using white on the body here. The tail is black and gray, and so are the paws and the body. So if you were making this raccoon from scratch, you would use the white. For the red panda, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, so I just ordered Parfait Chunky and I forgot the main color that I need for the body. But we are going to improvise because red pandas can have a little color change up. So I have just a little bit of this chestnut left. I think that this is going to last for at least one snuggler body. And for the tail, I am going to be using espresso and cream and a little bit of this, this is a special Parfait Chunky color called Acorn. I also have apricot, but I'm looking at this and I feel like, yeah, I'm feeling like the apricot might work better. So let me play around with it a little bit and you'll see as I am making up the tail which color I ultimately chose. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So for this snuggler, I kind of want to follow the same trajectory that I did with this cute little plush. I love the rounded body. I love the paws. So I know it's not typical to stuff snuggler paws. Yeah, let's see how this works up unstuffed and if I need to make any modifications. I just want to take a moment to admire this because I'm really proud of my work. Paws are really cute. It just has such a roundy, chubby little effect. And then these are the back paws. So I already have the pattern written for that. And I'm going to try doing a set of paws in black for the raccoon and just see how they feel unstuffed. Maybe we'll put a little bit of stuffing in the tips. For the tail, I want to do the same tail, but I think I'm going to use a different technique to attach it because the body is going to have half double crochets as snugglers and lovies usually do. And I want the tail to hang straight down and be kind of no-sew. So maybe we're going to find a different way to attach it than this flat. I do have a couple more heads, like I said, and in my hurry to get started this morning, I forgot where I put them. I literally had them in a big basket of plushies, and my craft room is now overflowing with plushies from all this market prepping. So I feel like they're going to turn up, and meanwhile, I'm just going to use these for size. Okay, so I'm doing something a little bit different with the tails from my previous plushies, and I'm just going to keep crocheting while I talk to y'all because I'm in a hurry. I've got market prep to do. So I am adding a white stripe in with the raccoon, and I'm just going to try this out. Just kind of as an experiment. I guess I can frog if I don't like it. But I have all this Parfait Chunky white scraps, and I'm really stash busting during this market prep. I'm trying to use all the little bitty scraps that are sitting in my yarn wall because I tend to do that. I'll just kind of stick stuff back in the yarn wall like it's a library. Okay, here's the Here's the tail so far. I don't know if I'm in love with this. I really hope I don't have to frog, because you know what? No, I'm just going to do this. And this is not necessarily going to be for the pattern photos, but just for my own reference to see how, you know, a little white stripe comes out, so that maybe I'll do that on the red panda. Maybe I won't. It's always good to try new things in a safe environment, but all of these plushies that I'm making today are going to go with me to market. Whoops, doing too much black here. Even the slightly wonky ones that are hopefully going to find their forever homes. So that is the beauty of crocheting for craft fairs, is you get to be able to experiment and play around a little bit more. Do a nice little color change here and bring my yarns up. Oh my goodness, guys, I lost yarn chicken with my little white scrap. I have 2 stitches left. I've got to join the yarn. I don't know why that makes me sad. Oh wait, I found another scrap. Yes. Okay, I've got more scraps. Like I prefer working with little scraps when I do stuff like this, because things get all twisty and it kind of saves me from having to keep twirling the tail around and around to untwist the 3 different colors. So yay, I have a scrap. All right, we have come to the top of the tail. I did win yarn chicken with a second white scrap. I don't know why I found that so satisfying. I don't know, looking on camera, I don't know if I love this tail pattern. I might do it differently for the red panda. We'll see. I'm not sure I like it for the raccoon, but I am going to keep it. I'm not going to frog it because we've got to keep it moving forward for markets. But this is what we'll have. You know, this versus this. Let's see. That's not terrible. That actually looks really cute. I don't know. I'm second guessing myself. I'm second guessing my work, and I can't do that because I don't have the time. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. I'm going to do a set of legs in black and gray, and then I'm going to do a set of legs in espresso for the red panda. So I'm going to finish this tail up and put it to one side. The other decision I need to make is whether or not to stuff. Like, I feel like loveys are mainly unstuffed, but I don't know. This is big and it kind of, I feel like it needs some padding. Maybe I'll put like really, really light stuffing in like the bottom half of the tail. We'll see. Let me try it. I'm going to try it and see if I like it. This will be my experimental one. And then the one that I am working on publishing, which is the red panda, I can do a little less, have a little bit more certainty in that pattern. Okay, this is what I mean by stuffing the tail super lightly. Like, it's round and the stuffing fills it out, but it's also really squishy. It's not firm. So I'm just going to kind of pat that into shape, but I'm going to keep it nice and squishy. I like that. I like that look. Coming back on just to share one more tidbit. So when I'm doing these decreases, the way I did the raccoon, the decrease round always seems to fall right on a color change where you can see I'm changing from the black to the seal gray. So I am doing invisible decreases with a little twist. There are 3 ways to do decreases. One is your regular decrease where you pull up 2 loops and then pull the yarn through them. Obviously I don't do that. But the invisible decreases that you do, that normally people do, where you're pulling up 2 loops, 2 of the front loop, pulling your hook through, and then hooking it through. I don't know if you can see that. I'm so bad with tutorials, but you're going through both the front loops, and that doesn't look as great over a color change. So the 3rd way is, for the first stitch, I pull up the front loop, and for the second stitch, I'm putting my hook into the back loop. Then I pull the yarn through and pull my free yarn through. So that makes it almost completely invisible. So you can see that those decreases are lining up nicely and not looking kind of wonky on top of the color change. So I'm going to take my time because it's a small piece. These invisible decreases do take me a little bit longer mechanically than a regular invisible decrease or a regular decrease. But because this is such a small piece, I want to go for aesthetics as opposed to speed. There we go. And there we have that top round that looks so nice and even. There we go. Here are the little legs. They're so cute. Here, I'll let you see up close. Yay. crocheting. I'm just gonna go ahead and make the back legs in espresso for the red panda so I can have the 2 snugglers. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera and I will be back. All right, folks, I finished the 2 back legs for the red panda. It's so cute. I still have the arms to do for both plushies, but now I'm gonna pivot because I looked at the time and it is 11:40, which means that my wife and son are gonna be coming home really soon. But the part I really need to focus on is doing this body, because I'm gonna be doing that from scratch, not from a pattern, and I'm gonna need to be writing down my pattern as I go. So I'm gonna take this tail and start crocheting off of it, and we're gonna get maybe as far as the belly, and then I will leave the last couple rounds for when I crochet those arms. And I think I can kind of do that when there's a little bit more going on in the background. I really want to make sure that I get my stitches right and the shape the way I want it before I get distracted. Here's what I've done on the body so far. Looking at it on camera, it looks a lot better than I was thinking. I'm really kind of trusting the process here because I feel like I did too many increases on the butt, and now I'm not kind of second guessing myself. So I don't know, maybe I don't want to frog this. I mean, I know that frogging is part of the process, but I don't want to frog this because I feel like I want to see how it works up if I keep going. So I'm going to keep going, cross my fingers, and hope for the best. Okay, now I am definitely frogging because this is how it's coming out, and I feel like the top is cinching up too fast. I really should have trusted the process. Well, I did trust the process, and this is my first draft, so I'm gonna go frog back a little bit and see if I can get this angle to come out correctly. Also, I finally figured out what I did with the heads to these plushies. Ta-da! They are in my whip spin back here. So here is my red panda. So cute. And here is my raccoon. And both of these were like first drafts. So I'm just gonna attach these heads because they came out really cute. They are super cute. But they were not the final draft. Like you can see the difference between this raccoon and this one. I kind of did some more work on the positioning for the black, which I'm still not 100% satisfied with this. Maybe at some point, you guys tell me down in the comments if you really want this pattern. I feel like I kind of second guess myself because there are better patterns out there. I think, Snuggle Beans Crochet has a perfect one where, I feel like the face looks like it's just so much easier to crochet. And that one was difficult. I really tried to make the raccoon markings like a real raccoon. And then I took a step back and was like, I am doing too much. So anyway, this is my first draft raccoon. And he's cute. He's so cute. So he's going to be my snuggler head. And this guy was my second draft of the red panda, and it didn't come out 100% perfect, but I think that he will definitely find a forever home at our upcoming market. So with all that said, let me get to work on this body before my baby gets home. All right, I have one snuggler body finished. Ta-da! Look how cute. I really like that. So I'm not 100% sold on the body shape. I feel like it's kind of pear-shaped and I want it to be more round. So the next one, I'm not gonna go back. This is not about perfection. This is about market prep. And this one is kind of my first draft, and he does look really, really cute. But for the red panda, I think I'm gonna take some of these blank rows that I added height to the top of the body and move them down here. So he has like more space in the belly instead, and it'll put some of those decrease rows up higher. So I'm just gonna shift things around a little bit and see how the second one comes out. I'm really excited, but I'm gonna go ahead and sew this to the neck real quick, and I'm gonna do the front paws for the red panda and come back and try the body again. Okay, I lied. I needed to come back and show you. Here he is. He's so cute. Oh my gosh, I did it. I made a snuggler. Like, looking at this on camera, it feels surreal. This is my first snuggler pattern that was all mine, and I kind of freehanded this body. Yeah, sure, it needs a little work, but yeah, he's all ready for market. He's all ready to go to his forever home. What a cute little trash panda. I'm really glad I stuffed the tail. I think this was a good choice, and oh my gosh. Okay, somebody's gonna love him. He's so cute. Boop. This espresso yarn I got is so sticky. It's driving me up the wall. You ever get a batch of yarn that's like that, where it just feels like there's a lot of friction against the hook? I don't like it. I'm actually thinking after this market of planning a switch to Zaddy Crafts yarn. I've heard amazing things about that and seen great rave reviews, and literally the only thing that is preventing me from just ordering a ton is the shipping. I'm like cheap right now, so I would kind of wanted to order a few skeins, but maybe I'll make the plunge and just get myself a whole box of like basic colors that I use a lot in Zaddy Crafts yarn. Okay, getting started on the Red Panda body. I have not done the tail yet, and I have a reason for that. So I have actually started the body from scratch, from a magic ring, instead of crocheting directly off the end of the tail. This will definitely be a no-sew snuggler, but right now with my yarn situation, I want to make sure that I have enough. I think I will, but if anything, I feel like I can skimp on the chestnut yarn in the tail and use other colors, at least for this draft of the snuggler, and it's going to come out looking cute. But this is literally the last bit of Parfait Chunky I have in chestnut. If I do another one, I will do probably like more of a red color. I haven't decided yet, but I have like carrot, and I have a shade of carrot that I think would be really good for Red Panda. But I've already done the head in chestnut, so I want the body and the head to match. I like how the snuggler body is coming out so far. Look, he's so cute. What I am not liking is the yarn situation. This is dwindling very rapidly. I am definitely playing yarn chicken here, and I am just hoping against hope that I don't have to frog. I am not super hopeful that I will have enough to finish the tail, but we are gonna make that work because I think I have a plan. I have a master plan. All right, folks, the body is done. Look, I have not yet sewn it on. It's pinned, but look, oh my goodness, I like it. I like it a lot. That is so cute. Okay, I am very, very happy with the second draft and how it came out. And I did write everything down. So I recorded my entire process so I can do it again. I did not close off the top of the snuggler just because my preference is to sew it on in 2 layers anyway. So I'm gonna try that. My goal is actually to make a no-sew snuggler. So hopefully this is something that, oh my gosh, I just thought of a great way that I can make these ears with less fiddling and crocheting. But anyway, this is going to be no sew. So this is going to be, the head is going to crochet the body directly in. But since this head is already pre-made, I'm going to go ahead and sew him on. And next we have the tail. I am not super confident that I can do anything with this. This is literally all we have left of the chestnut color. So we're going to have to improvise with this tail, folks. All right, stay tuned. Let me see what I can come up with. Okay, folks, where there's a will, there is a way. I am here to show you my finished Red Panda. I actually managed to incorporate a teeny tiny bit of the original chestnut color into the tail, and I didn't stuff the tail this time, so I did something completely different. I did this in half double crochets, and I kind of tapered it down. Basically, as I was running out of chestnut, I started decreasing so that I would have enough for 3 complete stripes, and somewhere in there I lost yarn chicken on the last stitch, but I think I put it underneath, like underneath the tail where you can't see it. So here she is, she's all done. This came out super cute. I'm really happy with it. Oh my goodness, like I'm glad I wrote down the pattern very well and detailed because I will definitely be making more of these. So stay tuned. Maybe not so much the Red Panda, but I think I want to experiment with doing other animals. One thing I really, really wanted to make is a ring-tailed lemur. I've got to do the legs on that and the face, but now that I have kind of nailed down a body type, I feel like I can definitely make this more of a lemur tail and make it longer. It's going to be fun. So folks, if you like this video, smash that like and subscribe button down below. I will see you in the next one. In the meantime, stay fabulous, everyone, and stay creative. Have a happy Pride Month. Bye.